Hello and welcome to Newsclick. I'm Paranjoy Guha Thakurta, and with me here at the India International Centre, I have the former Chief Election Commissioner of India, Navin Chawla. He was the CEC in 2009-10, and thank you very much, Mr. Chawla, for giving us your time. Something what many people would consider unprecedented has happened. Election Commissioner, Mr. Ashok Lavasa, has recused himself from attending meetings of the full Election Commission headed by the Chief Election Commissioner, Mr. Sunil Arora, and comprising besides him, Mr. Sushil Chandra, the other Election Commissioner, because he has claimed that his minority decisions have gone unrecorded. And it appears that these dissensions pertain to the violations of the Model Code of Conduct by Prime Minister Narendra Modi on at least 6 occasions, and another occasion involving the President of the Bharatiya Janata Party, Sri Amit Shah. Now, I am reading out a little extract of a letter he wrote to Mr. Sunil Arora. Mr. Lavasa wrote to Mr. Arora on the 4th of May, and this has been published in various media outlets, including NDTV. I quote, and this is Mr. Lavasa saying, I am forced to stay away from the meetings of the full commission since minority decisions are not being recorded. My participation in the deliberations of the commission becomes meaningless since my minority decisions go unrecorded. Your views, sir?
Well, I wasn't aware of this till just now. I have no reason to dispute what you're saying, but I can answer this by my own time. Before I became the Chief Election Commissioner, and I therefore became constitutionally secure, because only the Chief Election Commissioner has that constitutional removal procedure by impeachment, which is very difficult. For the 4 years that I was Election Commissioner, there were at least 3 or 4 occasions when I dissented, meaning that after the Supreme Court judgment, the powers of all the 3 in the famous Session case are exactly equal, and any 2 can overrule the 3rd. So there were at least 4 occasions, 3 occasions that I clearly remember where I was overruled, but that did not prevent me from giving my dissenting judgment,
Which was recorded.
Which I had it placed on the on the records of the Election Commission. I was, after all, an Election Commissioner. I wasn't a service officer to the Election Commissioner. So I had them placed on the record, and they are on the record of the Election Commissioner. So I can't see why anybody should not place whatever dissent they may have on the table, as it were, and placed on the records of the Commission. I did this in the case, I had my reasons for saying that the Karnataka elections were not being held correctly because the electoral rolls were not complete. I felt the Himachal Pradesh election has been, in my view, brought forward much too soon. I placed that also on the record of the Commission, and there were at least 2 other reasons. In one case, I went along with the 3-man commission, that is, I was the 3rd, but still I asked my dissent note to be placed on the record, and as far as I know, they're all on the record.
So the point you're making is that your dissenting note forms part of the records of the Election Commission of India,
yes,
and it doesn't matter whether the other 2 members of the commission overruled you for whatever
reasons.
Okay.
They must have good reasons. They overruled me. That was fine.
Let me continue by reading out another portion of the letter that Mr. Lavasa wrote to Mr. Sunil Arora on the 4th of May. And this is what he has written, and he said, I might consider taking recourse to other measures aimed at restoring the lawful functioning of the Commission in terms of recording minority decisions. This is what he's written. And he adds that my various notes on the need for transparency in the recording and disclosure of all decisions, including the minority view, have gone unheeded, forcing me to withdraw from participating in the deliberations on the complaints. This is what Mr. Lavasa has written to Mr. Arora according to these media reports. What would you like to say, sir?
I find this disturbing because from the time that I joined the Commission, which was when Mr. Tandon was Chief Election Commissioner, we had a norm of meeting every day. And it wasn't just the 3 commissioners who met every day. It was all the officers, the deputy election commissioners, as well as our 2 legal officers. So there were always at least 8 or 10 other senior officials who were always there in the room, and we met Monday to Friday every day, barring the odd day when somebody was traveling.
Okay.
So I can clearly see from this that everybody is not meeting every day, and they're not meeting with the officers.
This is not throughout the year, but during the period the elections are
No,
going on.
I would say that this was a very good practice throughout the year.
Throughout the year.
All the
Irrespective of
time,
whether elections
irrespective of whether elections were on or not, because we were constantly going into one election or the other, but even otherwise. So I am disturbed by the fact that very good practice, and it is there cast in stone in my book.
Okay.
Because it's very important to say that all the officials of the Election Commission, the senior most officials, were always there and participated in the decisions, and any other, if there was a dissenting, let us say, a position that I take, it was there before all to see.
Chawla ji, it's like this. What according to media reports, Mr. Sunil Arora called Mr. Lavasa, they had a meeting, and according to the Chief Election Commissioner, only the minority views are recorded only when there are quasi-judicial proceedings, and these need to be recorded, and decisions pertaining to alleged violations of the Model Code of Conduct, since they are not considered to be quasi-judicial proceedings, they need not be recorded.
I think I've answered this in 1 and 2. Your first 2 questions encompass my answer. Actually.
So you believe there should be a convention, and it doesn't matter
whether
it's quasi-judicial or not?
Let me just say that the Election Commission, the commissioners and the officials must all meet every day, in my view. That was a healthy tradition started by Tandon, continued by Kopalaswamy, continued by me in my time, and I think continued by Mr. Sampath thereafter, and possibly Mr. Qureshi thereafter.
Now, what legal recourse does somebody like Mr. Lavasa have?
I do not know. This seems to be an unprecedented situation for me. I don't know. I'd be interested to see how it evolves.